This video is created by Jagrat Creation. It is on accounting for branches, dependent branch, debtor system. I wish to solve one sum here before you, wherein by debtor system branch account is prepared and profit at branch is being found out. Observe the sum on the screen. This is the sum which I intend to explain and solve here before you. Sales India of Ahmedabad has a branch at Baroda. Head office supplies goods to the branch at an invoice price by adding 33 and 1/3% on cost. So goods are sent to the branch not at cost but at an invoice price. How to take care of if the goods are sent at an invoice price? If the goods are sent at an invoice price, stock is also always valued at an invoice price. So opening stock is at an invoice price, closing stock is also at an invoice price, and goods returned are also at an invoice price. Now when we prepare the branch account and we want to find out the profit by preparing branch account, and the invoice price is a price which has a profit load. So to find out the profit by preparing branch account, the branch account should be debited with the cost of goods sent. Branch account should be debited with the opening stock at cost. Branch account should be credited with the closing stock at cost, and goods returned by the branch is also to be recorded at cost. But here the goods are sent at an invoice price. So opening stock, goods and goods returned, closing stock are to be recorded in the branch account at an invoice price. But we shall write an adjustment entry so that invoice price gets converted into cost. That is an important point to be understood by the student when the sum is given wherein goods are sent to the branch at an invoice price. So the branch makes both cash and credit sales and remit cash received to HO office through bank draft. So whatever the cash is received by the branch remits the all cash to the head office. Branch may for petty expenses, head office sends petty cash. From the books of head office, following details are available in respect of branch for the year ended on 31st of March 2016. Stock at an invoice price, opening stock, closing stock, debtors opening balance, closing balance of debtors is not given, notice it. Petty cash opening balance is given, closing balance is not given. Furniture opening balance is given, closing balance is not given. So we are required to find out the closing balance because all these are the assets. Debtors, petty cash, furniture are the assets. Its closing balance at the branch is to be absorbed by the head office at the end of the year. So all the assets of the branch are taken up by the head office at the end of the year because branch do not have a separate accounting, separate legal entity. So whatever the assets are there at branch at the end of the year, they are to be absorbed. They are to be taken up by the head office in the books of account, in its books of accounts. So all these assets are required to be absorbed. So we should have a closing balance of assets. We should have the opening balance of the assets. Why we want to have opening balance of the assets? At the beginning of the year, all these assets and liabilities are given to the branch. So when we prepare a branch account, it is inevitably necessary to have the opening and closing balance of all assets and liabilities. We must have all the transaction by which the value is given to the branch. We should have all the transaction by which the value is received from the branch. So on the basis of this, the branch account is prepared. So we are required to find out this closing balances. Prepaid insurance, 800, 600, unpaid salary liability, 1200, 600 at the end of the year. Transaction during the year, goods sent to branch, goods returned by the branch. So you are not told anything about this. So it's presumed that to be at these prices are at an invoice price. Notice it. Furniture sent to the branch, goods returned by the debtors, cash received from debtors, including bad debts 2000. This is an income. Discount allowed to debtors, bad debts, cash sales, credit sales, petty cash sent, salaries, insurance premium, petty expenses. Depreciation on furniture is to be provided at 10%. You are required to prepare branch. You are required to prepare debtors account and petty cash account and branch account in the books of head office. Now first important point. All the cash received by the branch is remitted implies that expenses of the branch are paid by head office. So salary paid by head office, insurance premium 18,000 paid by head office. That's the first thing you should understand. Now let me explain the details of sum in detail. So this is invoice price 24,000, wherein 33 and 1/3% is the profit element. If 100 is the cost, then 33 and 1/3 is the profit. Then 133 and 1/3 is the invoice price. So invoice price is 4 times more than the profit. 33 and 1/3 into 4 is equal to 133 and 1/3. So if you want to find out the profit element from the invoice price, you are required to multiply invoice price with 1/4. That is the first analogy. So opening balance and closing balance are given at an invoice price. We shall find out the cost element and the profit element in this invoice price. Over and above these 4 lakhs, goods sent to the branch and goods returned by the branch. You are not specifically told whether these are cost or invoice price. Always presume them to be at invoice price, because goods are sent at an invoice price. So they are presumed to be at an invoice price. Now the cost is 100. Profit is 33 and 1/3. So invoice price is 133 and 1/3. So if you want to find out the cost, invoice price multiplied by 100 upon 33 and 1/3. So this is 3/4. And if you want to find out the profit element, then invoice price multiplied by 33 upon 133 and 1/3. So this is 1/4, this is 3/4. So invoice price constituents are 1/4 is the profit element and 3/4 is the cost element. That's an important point that students should understand on the basis of this explanation. Now you are given the opening balance of debtors. You are also given the cash receipt from debtors. You are given credit sales. So missing item is closing balance of debtors. So we shall prepare debtors account to find out the closing balance of debtors. Petty cash opening balance is given. Petty cash sent to the branch is also given. Petty expenses are also given. We are required to find out the closing balance. So opening balance 1,000. Cash sent 3,000. So total cash available with the branch is 4,000 for petty expenses. Petty expenses paid by the branch is 2,000. So closing balance of petty cash is 2,000. So as you are asked to prepare petty cash account in the working note, you should prepare it. Otherwise, you can find out the closing balance of petty cash orally, as I have explained to you, and write them in the branch account. Now the furniture opening balance is given to you. Furniture sent is given to you. You are also given the rate of depreciation on furniture. On the basis of this information, we are required to find out the closing balance of furniture. Now prepaid insurance. Insurance prepaid at the beginning of the year means it is an insurance for the current year. Insurance expense paid during the current year is 18,000. So 18,000 plus 800, 18,800 is the total, minus prepaid for the next year. So it is 18,000 includes 600 prepayment for the next year. So 18,000 minus 600 is the amount paid for the current year. Plus this 800 is to be added. So you will get the insurance expense. I am going to explain this in detail while solving the sum. Unpaid salary 1,200. So outstanding at the beginning of the year 1,200 is paid in this 15,000. So 15,000 minus 1,200. 15,000 unpaid salary that has been paid. And this is unpaid at the end of the year. On the basis of that, we are required to find out the salary expense for the current year, that we shall work out by preparing a working note for that. Now, let me prepare branch account, petty cash account, debtors account. These 3 accounts I am required to prepare. First of all, I will find out the profit element in the invoice price. So, first transaction, if the cost is 100, profit is 33 and 1/3, invoice price is 133 and 1/3. You are given opening stock at cost, closing stock also, you are given opening stock at an invoice price, closing stock at an invoice price, goods sent at an invoice price, goods return is also at an invoice price. Now these are the invoice prices given to you. From this invoice price, what is the profit element therein? What is the cost element therein? As I told to you, 1/4 is the profit element, 3/4 is the cost element. But let me explain with more details by ratio proportion. If 133 is the invoice price, then profit is 33 and 1/3. How much for 24,000? So 1/4 of 24,000 is the profit element. So 6,000 is the profit element. So 24,000 minus 6,000, you will get the cost element. But let me work out 133. 1/3 is the invoice price and 100 is the cost. How much for 24,000? It works out to be 3/4 of 24,000. 18,000 is the cost. Same way, 4 lakhs into 1/4, 1 lakh. But let me work out. 133 and 1/3 is equal to 33 and 1/3 is the profit. How much for 4 lakhs? So 1 lakh is the profit. 3 lakhs is the cost. 133 and 1/3 is equal to 100 is the cost. How much for 4 lakhs? So 3 lakhs is the cost. This is how you can find out the cost element and the profit element, which is a part of this invoice price. Similarly, goods in 40,000, 1/4 is 10,000, that is the profit element. 133 and 1/3 is equal to 33 and 1/3. How much for 40,000? 10,000. 30,000 is the cost. So 40,000 minus 10,000, 30,000 is the cost. 133 and 1/3 is equal to 100. How much for 40,000? 30,000 is the cost. Similarly, 72,000 into 1/4, 18,000 is the profit. And 18 threes are 54 is the cost. Now this is how I have prepared a working note wherein invoice price is bifurcated into two elements, cost element and profit element. Now how these transactions are recorded in branch account noticing. At the beginning of the year, stock is given to the branch account debit to opening stock account. So opening stock is recorded at an invoice price. And the adjustment entry is recorded on the opposite side. So profit element is credited, invoice price is debited, 24,000 minus 6,000, 18,000. So stock gets debited to branch account at cost. But what is the style of recording? Branch account debit to opening stock account credit 24,000. Now adjustment entry. Opening stock account debit to branch account credit 6,000. So what is the effect of these two journal entries? The effect of these two journal entries, that opening stock is debited to branch account at cost. Similarly, goods sent to branch account debit to goods sent to branch account, recorded at an invoice price. The adjustment entry is recorded, wherein profit element is recorded in the opposite side. So 4 lakhs minus 1 lakh, 3 lakh is the cost that gets debited to branch account. So first we have to write the entry at an invoice price, then we are required to write the adjustment entry for the profit element therein. By that what occurs? Debit and credit difference works out to be the cost. Similarly, goods return 40,000. What is the entry? Goods returned by branch account debit to branch account credit. The adjustment entry, branch account debit to goods sent to goods returned by branch account credit 10,000. So 40 minus 10, 30,000 is the goods return recorded in the branch account at a net amount, that is cost. Closing stock. At the end of the year, stock is taken, stock account debit to branch account 72,000. Adjustment entry, branch account debit to closing stock account credit 18,000. So this is how stock is also recorded cost. So I wanted to make clear how the invoice price element, if given in the sum, how should it be treated? Remember, opening stock, goods sent are recorded at an invoice price, profit element is recorded in the opposite side. Goods return and closing stock is recorded in the branch account at an invoice price, profit element therein is recorded on the opposite side, that is debit side, by an adjustment entry. The net effect, all these four transactions are identified in the branch account for the purpose of finding out the profit at cost. That's an important point to be understood. Next. Now, this is the details of the sum given to me. Opening balance of debtors. Debtors are given to the branch at the beginning of their branch account debit to debtors account. Same debtors will recorded in the working note. Debtors account as opening balance. Same way petty cash given to the branch account debit to petty cash account. And this petty cash will be in petty cash account in a working note. I will write opening balance 1,000. Furniture given to the branch at the beginning of the year. Branch account debit to furniture account. All the assets are given to the branch at the beginning of the year. By that, the economic existence, economic identity of branch gets created. So economic identity branch is created by giving assets and liabilities. Prepaid insurance is also an asset that is given to the branch account debit to prepaid insurance account. At the end of the year, all the assets are taken. See, I don't have the value of closing balance of debtors, closing balance of petty cash, closing balance of furniture, which I will find out and I will take from the branch. For that, assets taken by the head office from branch at the end of the year, I will find out the missing value, and for that the recording will be made afterwards. Unpaid salary is a liability given to the branch. So unpaid salary account debit to branch account credit, and at the end of the year salary unpaid. The entry is branch account debit to liability account credit, being liability absorbed in the books of head office. Goods sent to branch and goods returned by the branch is already done by preparing first working note. Furniture sent to the branch account debit to furniture account. Goods returned by debtors. It is a transaction between branch and debtors. It will not appear in the branch account. Debtors account will be credited in a working note. Cash received from debtors 2,02,000. That includes bad debt recovered 2,000. So cash received from debtors 2 lakh. Whatever the cash is being received by the branch during the year has to be remitted by branch to the HO. So 2,02,000 will be the remittance. Out of that 2 lakh is the receipt from debtors remitted by branch to HO. 2,000 bad debt recovery income remitted by branch to HO. So 2 lakhs that will be credited in debtors account, and 2,000 bad debt refund that is also recorded on the credit side of branch account because the amount is remitted by branch to HO. Now, next, discount allowed to debtors. It is a transaction between branch and debtors not recorded in branch account, but debts recorded in debtors account. It is a transaction between branch and debtors, customers, not to be recorded in branch account. Now, cash sales. Cash sales is recorded in the credit side of branch account because cash sales remittances occur to the HO. Then comes credit sale. In a working note for debtors, credit sale is debited. Cash sent for petty expenses, branch account debit to petty cash account. Cash account, cash sent. These are the two expenses are paid by HO for the branch. Why? Because all the cash received by the branch are remitted to HO. So by default it is understood that expenses is paid by HO. So branch account debit to cash accounts, salary paid and insurance expense paid. Petty expenses paid out of petty cash 2,000. So this is how all the details are considered. Now let me calculate depreciation. On opening balance of furniture, whole year depreciation is calculated. So 60,000 into 10% for the whole year. 6,000 depreciation, less depreciation value 54,000. Furniture given on 1st of October, so 6 months depreciation gets calculated. So 20,000 into 10% for 6 months, 1,000. So less depreciation value 19,000, total value of furniture 73,000. So whatever the furniture are there with the branch at the end of the year is taken up by the head office in its books of account. The entry for that furniture account debit to branch account credit. So branch account is credited with 73,000. Same way, let me work out the closing balance of debtors, because the closing balance of debtors is also absorbed by head office from branch. So debtors account debit to branch account credit, debtors 1,60,000. Let me find out the closing balance of petty cash account. That is also taken up by head office from branch at the end of the year, because the economic existence of branch is not allowed to be maintained and continued at the end of the year, because head office cannot report in its books of accounts that this is the amount due from branch or this is the obligation towards branch, because the legal existence of HO and branch is same. So all the assets of branch are to be absorbed, and for that the branch account is credited notionally as if all the assets of branch is taken up by the head office for accounting purpose. Now find out the profit. Total of credit minus total of debit. This is the profit earned at branch, 35,400. So here the profit is being found out by preparing branch account. As I told to you in my theory lecture also, that branch account is prepared on the basis of capital comparison method. So this is the net assets given at the beginning of the year. This is the value given to the HO. This is the value received from the HO. These are the assets and liabilities absorbed by HO. Net difference by capital comparison method. Closing capital plus drawings minus additional capital minus opening capital is equal to profit. On the basis of this philosophy, the profit is being found out. Now the question is, will we get the same profit if we prepare trading and profit and loss account? See, this is the profit that we have found out by preparing branch account 35,400. Will our profit be same from the given details if we prepare trading and profit and loss account? Will the profit will be same? The answer to the question is yes. Let me prepare a trading and profit and loss account in a working note. Memorandum trading and profit and loss account is prepared. So this is trading and profit and loss account that I prepared. Now, first of all, Stock is to be recorded in trading account at cost. 24,000 minus 6,000. 18,000 is the cost, so opening stock is recorded at 18,000. Opening balance of debtors cannot be recorded in trading and profit and loss account, so debtors is cancelled, and similarly I will cancel the debtors over here because this is not going to be recorded in my trading and profit and loss account. Opening balance of petty cash, that is also cannot be recorded in trading and profit and loss account. So on the basis of this, I want to prepare trading and profit and loss account for explaining the concept. So petty cash is also not going to be recorded in trading and profit and loss account. So far as furniture is concerned, furniture given and furniture taken cannot be recorded in trading and profit and loss account. The only depreciation could be recorded in trading profit and loss account. So let me work out the depreciation. So opening balance of furniture 60,000, furniture given to the brand during the year 20,000, 60 plus 20. This is the written down value 73,000. So 60 plus 20 minus 73,000, so 7,000 is the depreciation. Depreciation is to be debited to profit and loss account. So depreciation on furniture is debited to profit and loss account. Now, insurance. Prepaid insurance at the beginning of the year 800, so it's an expense for the current year. Insurance payment cash payment is 18,000, so 18,000 plus 800 minus insurance, prepaid insurance 600 will be deducted. So if you want to work out the insurance expense for the current year, these three items is to be considered. Debit items are to be total, credit items is to be deducted. You will get the net amount of insurance expense for the year 18,200, that will be debited to profit and loss account. That's an important point to be understood. So total of debit minus total of credit relevant to insurance, net amount is to be debited to profit and loss account. That can be explained in another way. Payment of 18,000 includes the prepayment of 600. So payment of 600 is for the next year. So 18,000 minus 600 is the payment for the current year. Prepayment at the beginning of the year means the payment for the current year, so it should be added. So that's why this 800 is added. So 800 plus 18,000 minus 600, net amount debited to profit and loss account. Goods sent to the branch is just like purchases for the branch. It should be recorded at cost. So goods sent at cost 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs minus 1 lakh, 4 lakh minus 1 lakh, 3 lakh cost is recorded. Goods returned, it's just like purchase return deducted from goods sent. That is also to be recorded at cost. So net cost of goods sent to the branch for the purpose of selling is 2,70,000. That is debited to trading account. Now, petty cash sent cannot be recorded in trading and profit and loss account, so it is removed from here. Salary outstanding at the end of the year should be added, and unpaid at the beginning of the year gets paid in this 15,000. So salary expense for the current year works out to be 15,000 plus 1,600 minus 1,200, 15,400 salary debited to profit and loss account. Closing stock to be recorded at cost, that is 54,000, trading account credit side. Cash received from debtors cannot be recorded in trading and profit and loss account, so it is recorded in working note as well as in debtors branch account, so it is removed. Cash sales, trading account credit side. Bad debt recovered income, profit and loss account credit side. Debtors closing balance cannot be recorded. Petty cash closing balance cannot be recorded. Petty expenses are debited to profit and loss account. Credit sale, trading account credit side. Sales return deducted from sales. Discount allowed debited to profit and loss account. Bad debts debited to profit and loss account. On the basis of that, if you find out the gross profit, that works out to be 77,600. So the 77,600 profit is transferred to the credit side of profit and loss account. And if you try to find out the net profit works out to be 35,400. So this is how profit is found out by preparing trading and profit and loss account. Here profit found out as per branch account. 35,400, and the profit found out by preparing trading and profit and loss account 35,400. So even if you try to find out the profit by preparing branch account, or if you try to find out the profit by preparing memoranda trading and profit and loss account, the profit is going to be same. This is how it has been explained here before you. This is a sum wherein invoice price concept is considered. I have tried to explain you this, sir. I feel that you have followed all these things. Thanks to all.